As long as we live in this known universe is governed by the law of cause and effect, we will reap what we sow. It is a tale of Amba, the eldest princess of Kashi. Her whole life was filled with sorrow caused by Bhishma, who rejected to marry her due to his eternal vow to remain a life of celibacy. Her heart was seared with suffering, and all the sweetness in her turned to gall and fierce hatred towards Bhishma as the cause of her blighted life. She desperately sought the formidable warriors to defeat and kill Bhishma. But even the mighty Parashurama, the conqueror of mighty Kshatriyas, is unable to beat him. Consumed with grief and rage, she finally received the grace of Lord Shiva. In her next birth, she would become the cause of Bhishma's fall. During the battle of 10th day of Kurukshetra, invincible Bhishma encountered the warrior eunuch Shikhandi, along with the most formidable warrior, the son of Indra, Arjuna. Shikhandi, which became Arjuna's shield, along with Arjuna himself, were attacking the mighty and powerful Bhishma with innumerable arrows piercing his entire body. Finally, Bhishma took his last breath on the bed of arrows. Thus, as was preordained, Shikhandi, that is Amba reincarnated, was the cause of Bhishma's fall. As wise men said, nothing is coincidence in this known world. Here is the beginning of the story. The Mahabharata, Season 2, Episode 4. The tragic life of Amba Devi.
If you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing to support us and stay connected with more engaging videos. Once upon a time, in the era of Dwapara Yuga, the third age of the world cycle of yugas, Satya Yuga, Tetra Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga, in which humanity shows its first significant decline in righteousness. An age where morality and immorality coexist equally, and spirituality is deteriorating. In this age, Krishna, an avatar of Vishnu, took birth to establish a Dharma, divine truth or justice. He taught humanity vital lessons to expand their consciousness. He taught about Dharma, responsibility, righteousness, devotion, the essence of life, and fulfilling responsibilities without concern to the outcome, emphasizing unselfish conduct. He played a very important role in this era, where the great epic of Mahabharata taken place. Whenever there is a decline in righteousness and an increase in sinfulness, O descendant of Bharata, at that time I manifest myself on earth to protect the righteous, to annihilate the wicked, and to re-establish the principles of Dharma. I appear on this earth, age after age. Weapons cannot shred the soul, nor can fire burn it. Water cannot wet it, nor can the wind dry it. All the best among warriors fight for the sake of duty, treating alike happiness and distress, loss and gains, victory and defeat. Fulfilling your responsibility, in this way you will never incur sin.
In the previous episode, Bhishma had defeated kings, princes, and warriors, participated in the Swayamvara of Amba, Ambika, and Ambalika. They brought 3 princesses in the hope to be presented to his younger brother, King Vichitravirya in Hastinapura. While Bhishma was proceeding toward Hastinapura, King Salwa, whose prowess was famed, suddenly appeared from behind. He challenged Bhishma.
Wait!
Bhishma flamed up in anger and turned to meet the challenge of the oncoming monarch. All the princes who had been defeated assembled to see the battle between those 2 bulls among men. King Salwa first covered Bhishma with many golden arrows. All the assembled princes applauded Salwa's prowess, but Bhishma was furious and told his charioteer,
Take me closer to Salwa's chariot, so I may kill him in the way Garuda kills a serpent.
The Kuru chief then fixed the Varuna weapon to his bow, and releasing it put Salwa's horses into confusion. This weapon caused a tidal wave to appear. Showing his supremacy with the bow, Bhishma released a flaming arrow which killed Salwa's charioteer. The powerful son of Shantanu then released the Indra weapon which killed Salwa's horses. This weapon is similar to a modern-day machine gun, but is more powerful and more accurate. As the battle continued, Bhishma shattered all the weapons of Salwa, but left him with his life. After defeating all opponents, Bhishma proceeded to Hastinapura and offered the beautiful princesses to his younger brother. After performing this uncommon exploit, Bhishma arranged the marriage ceremony for Vichitravirya. At that time, the eldest daughter of the Kashi king, whose name was Amba, approached Bhishma appealing to him.
At heart, I had chosen King Salwa as my husband. He had in his heart chosen me for his wife. This was also approved by my father. At the Swayamvara in Kashi, I would have garlanded him and accepted him as my lord if you had not forcibly taken me away. You are aware of moral principles, so please decide whether I am free to go.
Bhishma deliberated for some time, and after consulting with qualified brahmanas, he decided that Amba could return to the kingdom of Kashi and marry the lord of her heart. After receiving consent from Bhishma, Princess Amba left the city of Hastinapura and traveled to the province where King Salwa ruled. She was granted an interview, and bowing before him, she pleaded,
I have come to take shelter of your mighty arms. O brave king, please accept me as your queen.
King Salwa laughed to hear Amba's request and informed her,
I no longer desire you for my queen, for you have been touched by another. It is Bhishma only who can marry you. When Bhishma abducted you, you followed him willingly enough. How can a king like myself, who is acquainted with Vedic knowledge and is supposed to guide others accordingly, accept into his palace a woman who is intended to marry another? O Princess of Kashi, you may go wherever you like, but I cannot accept you as my queen.
Amba was aggrieved by King Salwa's rejection. She pleaded again,
O Lord of the earth, it is not as you say. Bhishma took me away by force. I did not go with him willingly. I am attached to you, and I beg you to accept me. The scriptures declare that a king should not abandon one who is dependent on him. I swear, O tiger among men, that I have never thought of any other man except you. Bhishma will not marry anyone, and my two sisters have been married to Vichitravirya. Therefore, O king, accept me as you wife, for I have no other shelter.
Although she repeatedly solicited King Salwa, he would not accept her and ordered her to leave his kingdom. Thus Amba left the kingdom of Salwa, lamenting her destiny. She returned to Hastinapura and told Bhishma of what had taken place. The grandsire tried to induce Vichitravirya to marry her, but Vichitravirya roundly refused to marry a maiden whose heart had already been given to another. Amba then turned to Bhishma, and she sought him to marry her himself, as there was no other resource. It was impossible for Bhishma to break his vow, sorry as he was for Amba. And after some vain attempts to make Vichitravirya change his mind, he told her,
There was no way left to her but to go again to Salva and seek to persuade him.
At first, she was too proud to do so, and for long years she abode in Hastinapura. Finally, in sheer desperation, she went to Salva and found him adamant in refusal. The lotus-eyed Amba spent 6 bitter years in sorrow and baffled hope, and her heart was seared with suffering, and all the sweetness in her turned to gall and fierce hatred towards Bhishma as the cause of her blighted life. She sought in vain for a champion among the princes to fight and kill Bhishma, and thus avenge her wrong, but even the foremost warriors were afraid of Bhishma and paid no heed to her appeal. At last she resorted to hard austerities to get the grace of Lord Subramanya. He graciously appeared before her and gave her a garland of fresh lotuses, saying that the wearer of that garland would become the enemy of Bhishma. Amba took the garland and again besought every kshatriya to accept the garland gift of the six-faced Lord and to champion her cause. But no one had the hardihood to challenge Bhishma. Finally, she went to King Drupada, who also refused to grant her prayer. She then hanged the garland at Drupada's palace gate and went away to the forest. Some ascetics whom she met there, and to whom she told her sorrowful tale, advised her to go to Parasurama as a suppliant. She followed their advice. Clouds of sorrow enveloped the sky of Kuru Kingdom. Meanwhile, the other two princesses, Ambika and Ambalika, who were as beautiful as the heavenly denizens, accepted Vichitravirya as their husband and considered themselves very fortunate. They considered him a worthy husband and loved and respected him in every way. Vichitravirya was endowed with the prowess of the Devas and could steal away the heart of any woman. Thus King Vichitravirya was duly married to the princesses of Kashi, and he passed 7 years happily in their kingdom. But after 7 years, he falls ill of consumption and could not be healed despite the efforts of his friends and physicians. Like his brother Chitrangada, he dies childless. Setting like the evening sun, Bhishma lamented the death of his younger brother and finally performed the last funeral rites. All the citizens of the kingdom mourned the death of the king. In the next episode, Amba Devi finally met the great Parashurama. She told her sorrowful tale caused by Bhishma and sought the help from him to defeat Bhishma. A warrior sage like no other, a legend lost in time, a hero, a villain, or something far greater. Some call him a hero, others a villain, but who is he really? Uncover his legendary tale in the next episode. Let us continue to embark on a journey through time to explore the origins of this timeless epic, the story of mankind, the story of Dharma.